Hi everybody, and this is a video in which we are going to talk about human circulatory system. So before I'll start off with this video, I want to give you a little introduction. I'm from BBLC, that is Brain-Based Learning Center, and these videos are absolutely free of cost, and you can see it and learn from it, and these are available on Facebook page and YouTube also, so you can follow these videos. And if you are preparing for your board exams or entrance exams, so you can take benefit from these videos. All the +1 and +2 videos of all the chapters are available. We have put few videos regarding different chapters, and the rest of the videos we are putting. So please do share and like these videos, and share it with your friends and the people those who need it, so that they can get the benefit. So this is all about BBLC, and now let's move on to the next slide and start with this particular chapter, that is human circulatory system. So all right, let's begin with the topic, that is human circulatory system. So let me write it also. Let me take the pen. All right. So we are going to talk about the topic known as human circulatory system. So this is the name of the chapter, human circulatory system. So in just a layman language, what is a human circulatory system? The first term is human. That is, we are going to talk about us, humans. And then second term is circulatory. So what is circulatory? Something in a motion, right? We are going to talk about this. And the last term is system. What is system? Set of ideas or set of things which we are set of things working together to do one thing, that is called a system. So altogether, what we get from this human circulatory system in just a layman language, that we are going to talk about something, some kind of a system, some kind of a circulatory system, or you can say some kind of thing which is in motion in human body, right? So this is about a human circulatory system. Now let's begin with this chapter. So first I want to tell you that human circulatory system consists of three main components. So what are these three main components? Number one is heart, and then number two is blood vessels, and number three is blood. So before I'll start with explaining all these three components, I want to take your attention to the other systems. The first one is a digestive system, right? So when you are taking food, and after all the digestion, whatever your body will produce, it will go directly into the blood, right? That is the third component of human circulatory system. Similarly, in the respiratory system, after the respiration process, whatever gases are released, it will go directly into the blood. So let me draw it also. So first I'm going to talk about the digestive system. So this is a large intestine I'm trying to draw. Not a very good diagram, but just to make you guys understand. All right, and now I'm going to draw the small intestine. So this is a small intestine. So this is our digestive system. So after digestion process, whatever things will be released by this will go directly into the blood. So this is about the digestive system. So let's talk about the another one, that we are going to talk about the respiratory system, right? So let's say this is the respiratory system. So after respiration process, whatever will be released will go directly into the blood, right? Okay. So let's say this is a blood vessel, and in this what we have? We have a blood. Blood is flowing in this, right? So now after digestion, what will be the product which will be released by the digestive system? So first is nutrient. Nutrient may include carbs, proteins, these kind of things, right? And then all these things will go directly into the blood. And now what our respiratory system will produce? The gases, right? So respiratory system will produce gases. So O2 will go to the bloodstream, right? And the CO2, right? CO2 will again get back to the lungs, that is your respiratory systems, all the deoxygenated blood, right? So we will talk about this in detail later. And so right now we are here that from the digestive system, everything that is nutrient, carbs, proteins, etc. will go into the bloodstream. And similarly from the respiratory system, oxygen will go into the bloodstream, right? And there is one more thing, that is our body produce hormones also, right? That is also will go into the bloodstream. Or you can say other things are there, ions also, right? Ions will also go into the bloodstream. So these are the things which will go into the bloodstream. Now the question arises, our whole body needs brain, our whole body needs blood, right? So each and every organ needs blood. Now how this blood will be how these nutrients, oxygen will be transported to different organs? So that work is done by the blood. Blood will take all these nutrients, hormones, gases, oxygen from one place to another place, or you can say from one organ to another organ, because it is important. Our every organ in our body needs these kind of things, that is nutrient, gases, everything. So now we can say what is blood. So blood is a transportation medium, right? So now we can say, if we are talking about the definition, so what is the definition of a circulatory system? It is a medium of transportation of nutrients, hormones, ions, gases from one organ to the another in our human body. It is known as, and it is known as human circulatory system. All right. So this is the basic of this chapter, that is human circulatory system. Now in the first place, I talk about the three component. The first component is the heart, What is heart? Basically, heart is a motor which pump blood to in your body, right? Or you can say motor, or you can say a pump, which is pumping the blood in every organ of your body. So we can call it a motor, or we can say it is a pump, right? This is the first component. Now, second component is the blood vessel. Now, it will never happen that heart will pump blood and it will, disperse in your whole body, right? Like anything. No, it will not happen. Heart will pump blood and in a very systematic manner, it will go to the different organ with the help of the blood vessels. It's not happening that from the heart, your blood will disperse in each area, each cell of the body. No, in a very systematic manner, heart will pump blood in the different vessels, blood vessels, and it will go to the different organs, right? So this is the second component, that is blood vessels. And the fluid which are in these blood vessel is the third component, and that is known as the blood. This is your third component, that is blood. So circulatory system consists of these three components. And now in the next slide, we're going to talk about these three components, right, in a little detail. So I hope this much is clear to you guys till now. And now let's begin with these three components. All right. Now, on this slide, there is one question. What kind of circulatory system human beings have? So this is the new topic we need to talk about, that what kind of a human circulatory system is. So we human have closed circulatory system, right? So let me write it also. We have a closed circulatory system. So what is the meaning of closed circulatory system? Hold on, I didn't write it well. So we have a closed circulatory system. Now, what is the meaning of a closed circulatory system? So let me draw a heart. So let's say this is a heart, human heart. These are the atrium I'm trying to draw. And this is a ventricle. Now let's say one blood vessel, aorta, is coming out of the heart and it contains blood, and this aorta is going to some organ, right? It's going into some organ, right? So now when the blood is flowing into this vessel, into this vessel aorta, this will not go into any organ and will disperse like this, right? The blood will not disperse from this aorta to the organ directly, but this aorta is further divided into small blood vessel, you can say a thin blood vessels like this, right? It is further divided into like this, and these small thin vessels are known as blood capillaries. These are known as blood capillaries. So blood is flowing from the aorta to these capillaries, blood capillaries, and the cells which are present in this organ are placed here, right? Let's say these are the different cells of the organ which are present here. Right? So the blood which is just flowing in these capillaries from the aorta will never come out directly outside, and it will never come and touch the organ. But what will happen from these capillaries? One yellow color fluid is coming out, right? So one yellow color fluid is coming out like this, And this yellow color fluid is known as interstitial fluid, or we call it a tissue fluid also, right? So everywhere, so from these capillaries, this yellow color fluid is coming out and known as the interstitial fluid. So this yellow color fluid is known as interstitial fluid. And this interstitial fluid, what it contains? It contains nutrients. You can say glucose it contains. And it contains oxygen also, right? So from these capillaries, yellow color fluid is coming out, which is known as interstitial fluid, and it contains glucose and the gas oxygen, right? So it will go into these in this area into the cells. Now these cells these cell will also release something which is known as carbon dioxide, and in these areas these cells will release carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide will again go to this area, that is a capillary. In this area, the whole, let me draw it. Okay, so in these areas, right, in these area, this fluid, this carbon dioxide, these cells will release carbon dioxide, and it will go into these areas, right? And from these capillaries, this fluid, this whole fluid is going out, and again, and this blood is a deoxygenated blood, right? This is a deoxygenated blood, and now this vessel is known as, this vessel is known as vein, and this is a deoxygenated blood, and it will again go back to the heart for the oxygenation, and it will go. So now you can understand why we are saying our human circulatory system is a closed circulatory system, because it will, the blood vessel which is taking the blood from the heart, it will not go into an organ and disperse like anything, no, but it will again further get divided into small vessels known as blood capillaries, and in a very systematic manner it will blood will flow into these capillaries, and will the other things like glucose and oxygen will go into the cells, right? Now there is one more important question which I want to tell you right now. The question is, what is the benefit, what is the significance of a closed circulatory system in human body? So this is very important. Uh, for example, if there is any tube, and you will and there is a fluid going on in that tube, and you will put that tube on a floor, and the fluid will, that liquid will go out of that tube and will disperse on the floor. Now you can imagine there will be no much pressure on the floor. When the fluid is on the floor, there will be no much pressure in the water, in the fluid which is on the floor, right? Which is not good in case of a human body, because we have different organs. For example, we have a liver and we have a brain also. If there is no flow in the blood, how it is possible for the heart to send that, or to transport all those nutrients through the blood to our brain? This is impossible, because we have a heart, and our head is at the top, so blood needs some kind of pressure to take the blood to the brain. So this closed system will provide that blood pressure, right, from the tube. When the blood will flow in these capillaries and in these blood vessel, it will produce some kind of a pressure, and that blood pressure is very important for our different organs. If there is no blood pressure, then it is difficult for our heart and the blood vessel to take all the blood to the brain. And as we all know, Blood is essential because it is a transport medium. It will transport nutrient, glucose, oxygen to all the organs. So it is difficult for the for our heart to pump all the blood all to our brain and to the different organ. That's why it is significant to have a closed circulatory system, and this is the benefit of the closed circulatory system, to transport all the essential nutrients and oxygen to the different organ of the body. So this is about the closed circulatory system, and there are other organisms which have an open circulatory system. We will not discuss here in this chapter regarding the open circulatory system much. For example, cockroach. Cockroach is an organism which have a open circulatory system. In these kind of organism, what will happen? From the heart, from one vessel, blood will disperse all over in the body. But this is not happening in a human body. So this is the significance of a closed circulatory system, because it will generate a blood pressure in the blood vessel so that it will take the blood from the heart through the blood vessel to the different organs. So I hope this much is clear to you. And now in the next slides, we will talk about the components which we already talk about. That is, there are three components. That number one is the blood. Number one is the heart, and second is the blood vessels, and the third one is the blood. So we will talk about these components in the next slides.